Thanks for joining us on TVC News this hour. Let's begin with the presentation of the budget, where President Muhammadu Buhari has presented 20.5 trillion naira budget to the National Assembly. This is the last budget to be passed by the president before the end of his tenure next year. Before the president's speech, President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, commended President Buhari for being consistent in presenting the budget in the last 3 years. He also urged that the 2023 budget should focus on completing infrastructure already started. Senator Lawan described all thieves as the worst enemy of Nigeria, and offenders should be tried for treason. In his address, President Buhari assured that his administration is committed to ensuring lives and properties of citizens are safe. He also appealed to the Academic Staff Union of Universities to call off the strike, as government alone cannot fund education. The president also assured that insecurity will be significantly curtailed before the end of his administration.
The National Assembly has been consistent in passing the appropriation bill before the end of the year so that it can be signed into law before the beginning of the new year. The main source of revenue to the Nigerian government is oil and gas. We always consider the diversification of our economy as crucial, and it is indeed crucial. The idea of deploying our revenues from the oil and gas to support the diversification into real sectors like agriculture, manufacturing, mining, etc. is now under serious threat. Mr. President, we note the government drive to address the impact of climate change and reverse its effect. Though complicated and dynamic, we should not rest on our oars in dealing with issues like floods, drying wetlands, desertification, and coastline erosions. The menace of flooding in many parts of our country has been particularly worrisome. It has devastated homes and disrupted families, lives, and livelihoods. We'll need to take proactive measures to tackle this, and especially manage our dams and other water bodies to curtail the menace of flooding, now becoming a national disaster.
The government notes with dismay the crisis that has paralyzed activities in the public universities in the country. We expect the staff of these institutions to show a better appreciation of the current state of affairs in the country. In the determined effort to resolve the issue, we have provided a total of 470 billion naira in the 2023 budget from our constrained resources for revitalization and salary enhancements in the tertiary institutions. Distinguished senators and honorable members, it is instructive to know that today government alone cannot provide the resources required for funding tertiary education. In most countries, the cost of education is jointly shared between the government and the people, especially at the tertiary level. It is imperative, therefore, that we introduce a more sustainable model of funding tertiary education. The government remains committed to the implementation of agreements reached with staff union within available resources. This is why we have remained resolute that we will not sign any agreement that we would be unable to implement. Individual institutions would be encouraged to keep faith with any government reached in due course to ensure stability in the educational sector. Government is very concerned about the high food prices in the country. Various measures are being implemented to address structural factors underlying the issue. We will also step up current efforts aimed at boosting food production and distribution in the country. The government remains firmly committed to the security of life, property, and investment across the country. Accordingly, defense and internal security continue to be accorded top priority in 2023. Current efforts to properly equip motivate our valiant personnel in the armed forces, police, and paramilitary units will be sustained. I assure you, insecurity, especially banditry and kidnapping, will be significantly curtailed before the end of this administration. We will redouble our efforts to ensure we leave a legacy of a peaceful, prosperous, and secure nation.